Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Cortez and I'm the project manager for Group 1, the Cougs. Our group members are Thomas Cornett, Dalton Deputy, Michael Lawal, and Aldo Marseglia. For project number 5 in INDE6332, our team developed a comprehensive project budget for the construction of our vessel. This budget was created using the planning tools developed in previous assignments, such as the work breakdown structure, linear responsibility chart, and Gantt schedule, to estimate labor requirements, material costs, and the overall project budget. In this project, our team developed a comprehensive project budget for constructing the 34-foot aluminum vessel. We used the planning tools from previous assignments, such as the WBS, LRC, and Gantt schedule, to estimate the professional, skilled, and unskilled labor hours required for each work package and distributed those hours across the 20-week project timeline to generate a weekly labor budget. Material costs from the bill of materials were also incorporated and allocated based on when each vessel system is installed. The final budget combines both labor and material costs while ensuring the project remains within the required constraints of ensuring the labor is under $250,000 and the total project cost is under $750,000. The scope of our team's project includes the following 3 main phases: planning, vessel construction, and sea trial testing. The vessel itself is divided into 7 major systems, including the hull, propulsion, electrical, freshwater, sanitation, navigation, and anchoring systems. These systems were organized using our work breakdown structure and scheduled across the project timeline using the Gantt chart to ensure tasks are completed in the correct order. The entire project timeline spans approximately 20 weeks from initial planning through final sea trial testing. Looking at our team's work breakdown structure, it organizes the vessel construction project into manageable work packages. At the highest level, the project is divided into 3 main phases: planning, vessel construction, and sea trial testing. Each vessel system then follows a similar process, which includes specifying components, ordering materials, receiving those components, installing them, and finally testing the completed system. The linear responsibility chart assigns responsibility for each task in the project. Each row represents a work package from the work breakdown structure, and each column represents a project supervisor or the project manager. Responsibility codes indicate who is responsible, who supports the task, who approves it, and who must be informed, as we can see at the bottom of the screen. Looking at our Gantt chart schedule, the chart on the left shows the construction timeline for the 34-foot aluminum vessel across the 20-week project period from January to May. The project begins with the planning phase, followed by hull construction, which must be completed before the other vessel systems can be installed. Once the hull is complete, several systems, including that of propulsion, electrical, freshwater, sanitation, navigation, and anchoring, are installed and tested concurrently. After all systems are integrated and verified, the final phase of the project is the sea trial, where the vessel undergoes full operational testing. The chart on the right represents the long-term organizational growth timeline for the company. It outlines how the startup evolves from its initial leadership structure into a larger organization with dedicated departments such as research and development, manufacturing, finance, and sales. This timeline illustrates how the company scales its operations and prepares for mass production after the successful development of the initial vessel. The man-hours table estimates the labor required for each work package. Labor is categorized into professional, skilled, and unskilled labor. Professional labor includes project planning and management activities. Skilled labor includes technical installation work, and unskilled labor primarily involves hull fabrication and basic construction tasks. The weekly labor budget was developed using the project schedule shown in the Gantt chart and the labor rates provided in the assignment. Each phase of the project was analyzed to determine which type of labor would be required. Early planning activities and later stages such as final integration and sea trials primarily require professional labor, which includes project managers and engineers, which is calculated at $100 per hour with an additional 25% fringe cost. During the whole construction phase, both skilled technicians and unskilled labor are required, reflecting the hands-on fabrication work. The system installation phases, including electrical, propulsion, navigation, freshwater, sanitation, and anchoring, primarily require skilled technicians working at $40 per hour. Weekly labor costs were calculated by estimating the number of workers in standard 40-hour work weeks, then allocating those costs across the weeks in which each activity occurs according to the Gantt schedule. The totals were then checked to ensure the overall labor budget remains below the project limit of $250,000. Looking at our team's bill of materials, cost per week, this chart shows how material expenses are distributed throughout the project timeline. The bill of materials identifies all of the components required to construct the vessel, including systems such as propulsion, electrical, navigation, and hull materials. These costs are allocated based on when each system is installed according to our project schedule. In total, the material cost for constructing the vessel is approximately $91,000. Now, for our team's total project budget, this combines the labor costs, material costs, and indirect expenses required to construct the vessel. Based on our estimates, the total project cost is approximately $390,000. This keeps our labor costs well below the $250,000 limit, and the overall project cost remains comfortably under the $750,000 budget constraint, ensuring the project remains competitive and financially feasible. To conclude this presentation, the combination of the work breakdown structure, linear responsibility chart, Gantt scheduling, and budgeting allowed us to develop a budget plan for constructing the vessel. These tools ensure that the project can be completed efficiently, on schedule, and within our budget. This concludes Team 1's presentation for Assignment 5 on project budgeting. Thank you all for your time and your attention.